everyone, we welcome you to the Voices of India's Energy Leaders, powered by Energetica India Magazine. This is your host Abha Rusgi, and today we have with us Mr. Kartik Teltia, Managing Director, Solarworld Energy. Hello sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So sir, starting off with our conversation, could you briefly introduce yourself and your company to our viewers?
So I'm Kartik Teltia. I am one of the founders of Solarworld Energy Solutions. Rishabh is my brother, we both started this company back in 2013. Solarworld has been an EPC company throughout since 2013. When we started, we were a rooftop solar company. So we were setting up projects for industries and commercial establishments on their rooftops. Post-COVID, we decided to get into ground-based projects, and we have grown very, very rapidly since then. Today, SolarWorld is amongst the top 2 or 3 EPC companies for solar projects. We have backward integration for a BESS manufacturing line and a 1.5 gigawatt module manufacturing line. We are also setting up a solar cell line, which will come up by next year. And we are now also listed on NSE and BSE on the main board.
Okay, that is great to hear. So how has your leadership journey formed since you are in the industry from 2013? Yes.
So since 2013, I would say a lot has changed. So 2013, when we started, solar was a very, very nascent sector. There were not a lot of players in this. There was not a lot of awareness with people. So at that time, you had to go and explain to the industry why you should put up solar. The size of solar projects used to be smaller. So maybe a 10 megawatt project was a big project at that time. And now in 2026, I would say people talk about a gigawatt of projects, and 10 megawatt is like a CNI small project that you are doing. So definitely the industry has come a long way. The quantum of projects that are being done has changed tremendously. The industry, other than solar industry, is quite aware of the benefits of solar. So it's not, you don't have to create demand. The demand is already there. So you have to reach out and kind of convert them into setting up a solar project for CNI. And government has a lot of favorable policies now. So that is also promoting solar.
Okay, so as you are into EPC sector, manufacturing and BESS, which is the most important sector according to you right now?
So in the current year or next couple of years, I would say that because as you would see the trend, there is a lot of power during the day and there is a huge shortfall in the evening hours. So I think BESS has become very, very relevant in today's date. Government, I think, has come out with maybe 40 gigawatt of tenders in the last 12 months alone. Compare this to maybe 16 gigawatt of solar tenders. So you can definitely see a shift to BESS, where government and discoms and everybody is trying to push the power from day to evening hours when the cost of electricity is much higher. So I would say for next couple of years, while solar will remain relevant, solar paired with BESS will become very, very important.
Okay. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू सबसे ज़्यादा जो लोगों की अवेयरनेस है वो कौन से सेक्टर में कम है? मॉड्यूल्स एंड सेल्स के बारे में आजकल सबको पता है, तो सोलर के कंपैरिजन अगर हम करें स्टोरेज से तो उतना ही अवेयरनेस है?
अभी स्टोरेज में अवेयरनेस कम है. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, आई थिंक CNI सेगमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिट कर सकता है स्टोरेज से. फॉर एग्जांपल, आप फैक्ट्री रन कर रहे हैं, अभी आप जनरेटर लगाते हैं, जनरेटर में पर यूनिट कॉस्ट 26-27 रुपीज़ आता है, बट आप उसको रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं एक बेस्ट के कंटेनर से. वो आपको पावर बैकअप भी देगा और UPS का भी काम करेगा. सो दैट हैज़ बिकम इकोनॉमिकली वाइबल नाउ. सो वो अवेयरनेस अभी आएगी मार्केट में, तो आई थिंक जेनसेट से लोग बैटरी बैंक्स पे शिफ्ट होने लगेंगे. इन टर्म्स ऑफ FDRE टेंडर्स ऑल्सो, जहाँ पे सोलर विंड लग रहा है, आई एम सीइंग की शिफ्ट आ रहा है, जहाँ लोग कह रहे हैं सोलर विद बेस्ट कर देते हैं बिकॉज इकोनॉमिक्स इज बेटर. So that awareness is coming, and technically also because BESS is very, very new in this country. तो अभी लोगों को वो कंफर्ट आना बाकी है कि हाँ ठीक है, बैटरी बैंक हम लगा रहे हैं, will this battery bank run for 12 years? आपका typical lead acid battery bank runs for 3 years. Now हम आके आपको बोल रहे हैं कि आप 2 cycles चलाइए इसको, you run it for 12 years, 15 years, it will still run at 70% capacity after that. तो वो कंफर्ट आएगा धीरे धीरे लोगों को.
ओके. एंड इतने सारे सेक्टर्स हैं जैसे EPC एंड स्टोरेज, सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल कहाँ आती है जब आप वो स्किल सेट ढूंढते हैं कि हमें कंपनी में ये स्किल सेट चाहिए इस इंडस्ट्री के लिए?
सो सी, सोलर में स्किल सेट का भी इशू नहीं है. सोलर सेल में स्टार्टिंग में इंडस्ट्री थोड़ा स्ट्रगल कर रहा था, बट आई थिंक अब उसका भी एक नॉलेज बेस इंडिया में क्रिएट हो गया है. इन टर्म्स ऑफ BESS, सो आई डोंट नो इफ यू नो, बट गवर्नमेंट हैज नाउ चेंज द प्रेस नोट 1 एंड अलाउड Indian companies to partner with Chinese companies to get those skill sets here. So pre-approvals are not required. So government is also taking cognizance of the fact that some skill sets may not be here. So they are opening up those sectors so that those skill sets can come to India.
Okay. So amid the geopolitical situations that happened, have your company also suffered
Ma'am,
during
we
that time?
are domestically focused. We don't have exports to US or Europe. So we are insulated from the fact that we focus on the Indian market mostly. So we have not suffered, to be honest, but this industry tends to be volatile and prices do tend to vary. So we try to hedge our risk when we take up big projects.
And what about manufacturing? Uh,
Ma'am,
when sourcing, yes.
manufacturing we have started very recently. So we got our BIS only in December 2023. So we are finding our feet. We are learning, and there's a learning curve that we are going through. But we don't foresee many challenges in that because it's not a new sector. It's a very stable sector. Logistics are already there, so we should be able to manage.
Okay, could you tell us a bit more about your manufacturing facilities where you have set up? How many gigawatts are you targeting?
So, ma'am, we have a 1.55 gigawatt ALMM approved G12R line, which is set up in Roorkee, Uttarakhand. It is fully functional now. Adjacent to that, we are setting up a 3.6 gigawatt cell to battery pack for lithium ion batteries. That line should also be commissioned by end of March. In addition to this, we are setting up a 5 gigawatt junction box manufacturing line. It is also in the same location. So all three factories are in the same location. During our IPO, we had raised about 420 crores. That was for setting up a solar cell line. Our solar cell line is coming up in Madhya Pradesh. It's about 1.5 hours from Nagpur airport.
Okay. So what are the most common challenges you have faced while setting up the manufacturing facilities? Are the policies in line according to you, or is there still some scope that these policies could be introduced?
Ma'am, I think government is very proactive on setting up the policy. So module, cell to battery pack, we have actually received a lot of support from the government. So we've not faced many challenges on that. Even on the cell line now, because there are a few functioning cell lines in India which have been recently set up, I think a knowledge base is now available. So the challenges are reducing, not going up in India. So temporary challenges may be there, but that happen in any industry that you set up.
Okay, so are also planning to go beyond the cell line, like ingot wafers?
Ma'am, at present we don't have any plans to get into ingot wafers and polysilicon. We are focusing on setting up our and stabilizing these lines before we decide to go into that. Because we are a EPC company, we are the only EPC company which is backward integrated in India. Our focus remains on EPC. So our logic is that if we can consume 70-80% of some line, then only we set up. So if at some point in time we feel that availability of wafer is not there and we can consume 70-80% of that capacity, we will look at setting it up.
Okay.
But at present, we are focusing on cell.
So as we are talking about EPC, what measures do you take to build the trust among your customers?
Ma'am, so trust, first time you have to convince them based on your credentials, and second time is always based on your performance. Okay. So if an EPC can finish their project within the approved cost, within the approved timeline, then that trust comes, and you will see that most of our customers are repeat customers. So over 13 years, I think, except for one odd project, I don't think we've delayed a project. So that trust, that credibility is there in the market for Solarworld.
Okay, so you must be getting some absurd or maybe some impractical demands from the customers or funny situations.
Ma'am, so a lot of our orders are PSU orders. So these are tender based. So there are no funny demands on those tenders. That's a very standardized process. So when you go to the industry also to take CNI orders or private orders, I think a lot of awareness is now there in solar. So people understand what are the limitations of solar and what can be expected of an EPC. So those challenges, I would say when we started in 2013, those challenges were very high, but not really now.
Okay, so according to you, do you think that domestic manufacturing is what India can achieve in the next by 2030, or are still far away from that?
So I would say last 5 years, the change I have seen is that initially people used to be very hesitant in setting up an industry in India, manufacturing. But now when I talk to people in the industry, if it is profitable, people will invest money, firstly. Secondly, the problem is capital. And I would say in India now capital is also not an issue. So with people willing to invest and capital not being a problem, I see a lot of investment happening. And in solar modules, you will see almost like 140 gigawatt have been set up. And these are not people who were in this industry. People who saw that this industry is growing and there's a future, they have come up and set up a line. So that gives you a lot of confidence that people are now confident in setting up and running manufacturing lines in India. And this is not just in solar, I would say this is across sectors that people are willing to invest and set up manufacturing in India now.
Okay, so do you think there is a healthy competition or it is difficult for new entrants?
Ma'am, so depends on what sector you're getting into. Within solar also, if you're getting into module manufacturing, it's a very low barrier to entry, very low investment, and you can set up a line. But to keep it running, to get orders and to manage it, I think that's the barrier that people will face in the coming year, because there is a certain amount of capacity that has been set up. In cell line, challenges are different. To set up that line and to stabilize is kind of a bit of a problem right now. Wafer ingot, nobody has done. So we will know the challenges only when people start setting it up.
Okay, so according to you, what major mistakes can new entrants make? Like बहुत पैसा दिख रहा है, चलो इसमें line लगाते हैं, लेकिन
Ma'am,
बाद
that
में
is the
कुछ नहीं
biggest
होता.
mistake. Now you have to do a market survey now.
Yes.
If you are setting up a solar panel manufacturing line, if you are starting a new line now, then maybe you should look at what is the potential of the Indian market and how many lines have already been set up. So I think some people I know who have said we will not set up the manufacturing line for solar panels, we will directly shift to cell. So that is also a good idea maybe, or some people can directly move to wafer and ingot because there's not a lot of capacity there. So I think the biggest challenge is people need to evaluate where those margins are now and where the margins are going to move. So that evaluation everybody has to do.
Okay. So what are your plans? What is next for Solarworld? Any expansion plans, any partnerships or any new investments?
Ma'am, so our investment plan is quite clear. We've set up our module line. Our cell and junction box line will be up and running in about 30-35 days. And then we are investing into our cell line, which should be up and running by next year. In terms of EPC, we are continuously growing. So our turnovers, margins, everything is going up. So we will continue to focus on our EPC business. And we are adding EPC for best projects, standalone best projects as well.
Okay, any new partnerships?
And we are not announcing anything at this point.
Okay. So what according to you platforms like the Smarter India act as a bridge between the companies for the collaborations in the industry?
Ma'am, so see, there is always a structural disconnect between people who want to do solar and people who are providing those services. So any bridge that can be created to bring customers and suppliers together is always welcome. So any platform that does that is a good initiative according to me.
Any trends that you have noticed here? Like mostly the earlier guest said that storage is the star.
So ma'am, our stall has all three EPC, BESS and solar panels. So we've definitely got a lot more inquiries for BESS compared to solar panels currently, because there's a lot of interest on where the BESS is going. Everybody knows about solar, but if there's a company that can explain how BESS works, how it can benefit them, we are getting a lot of inquiries on that.
Okay. What are the market trends that you are expecting in the next 5 years?
Ma'am, so in terms of BESS, we would see a lot more local manufacturing. To be honest, if you import a container right now from China, I think the duty is about 22%. If you import cells and you assemble it here, duty comes down to about 5 or 6%. So that's definitely a big advantage of manufacturing in India that people are now looking into. So BESS will get a lot of incentive in terms of manufacturing in India. Government has also come out with a draft plan on how to localize the BESS components. So that is also going to get a lot of push. In terms of solar panel manufacturing, I think we are at a stage where I think we have more than enough capacity. Cell will get there, and I think by 28 or 29, government will ask for ingot and wafer. So that is definitely going to happen. EPC will move from pure solar to solar with BESS. I don't foresee many orders now being pure solar orders now.
So any message you would like to give to the young entrepreneurs who are looking forward to enter this industry?
I would just like to say that it's a wonderful industry to be in. There's a lot of opportunity, while from the outside sometimes it seems that there's a lot of competition, but it's a huge market that people have not captured, and not just in India, even Africa or Middle East, where Indian companies have not reached out yet. I think there's a lot of opportunity for young entrepreneurs to come in.
Okay. What is the one skill set that is most in demand right now that we need to have this? Because AI is there now, digital monitoring is there.
So ma'am, AI, definitely a lot more work needs to be done. So we are trying to use AI to design our EPC projects as well. So we are trying to create models on that. So I think a lot more work will happen on that. That one thing, I think solar, I don't know if it's a big enough industry for people to focus in terms of developing AI models for us or not. But I think that should definitely happen, and that will improve the outcomes of solar projects. That is one. I think second skill set is manufacturing. Solar panel assembly compared to solar cell is a very different ballgame. So it's a chemical and gas driven process. So that kind of skill set, I think, will over time people will develop those skill sets to run, manage. It's like a semiconductor plant. So, and in India we don't have semiconductor plants. So those standards to maintain, I think that skill set will come slowly to India.
Okay, so do you think that AI will replace jobs or it will create more opportunities, particularly in the solar sector?
Ma'am, so I don't know if AI will replace jobs but AI will definitely, as I said, help in improving the outcomes, because AI will be able to do your basic design, which can be improved on by humans who have experience of how the solar performs on the ground. But AI will definitely help in evaluating conditions when you feed data into it. So I think the outcomes and the way we design will definitely change. I don't know how much impact it will have in terms of jobs. uh, I think India has the lowest EPC cost already across the world, so I don't know how much lower we can go further because of this.
So, ending our conversation, where do you see your company in the next 5 years?
So, ma'am, our target is to focus on EPC. We will keep up our backward integration to the extent that it supports our EPC. Our idea is currently, I would say, in terms of execution, we are amongst the top few companies in India. We would want to be there in terms of size also. We are growing very, very rapidly, and we hope in next 3 to 4 years we'll be amongst the top 1 or 2 companies in India in terms of EPC.
Okay, that is great to know. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you, ma'am.